Welcome back, everyone. We're live on Facebook. I forgot to say that earlier today. We are live on Facebook, so we're going to be sharing the show afterwards. Like us and follow us, too, on there. And I'm going to go right in with my next guest, who's neither of it. Well, my first guest was on once before, but my next guest is a newbie. I have with me Matt, I hope I say it, Kildee.
That's it.
I got it.
You got it.
And he is a licensed therapist and a certified personal trainer and CEO of Torch Wellness and Consulting. First of all, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do. And I'm going off of this completely, okay? Your philosophy on what you do. Go ahead.
Yes. So we started Torch Wellness and Consulting at the beginning of the pandemic, actually, where we wanted to see how we could help people integrate their mental health and their physical health, and we've studied extensively the impact of our physical health on our mental health. And so really we just wanted to integrate those two. Normally you see medication management integrated with mental health. We wanted to see what the impact of improving our physical health would be on our mental health.
So, within your therapy,
yes.
Okay, you said something before you came on, and that people have a chance to either step up or step down with what they want to do. And I want you to kind of explain how you work within your practice, and then how somebody can choose to do that.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty exciting because a lot of people, the word therapy is kind of scary. Right. And so we added a life coaching component. And so people can come in and get motivated through life coaching. And then if they find there's deeper rooted issues that they want to work through, they can step up to therapy. And if therapy is good and they're feeling resolved with that, they can actually step down to life coaching. And then the personal training component is a nice added addition to that.
Yeah, and I want you to know what personal training does for everybody. It just makes them feel great.
Yes.
So that's a great thing to add. But it's not just personal training. I want to bring in that it's nutrition.
Absolutely.
Because nutrition has a lot to do with us being wackos, because we are, and we all are.
Absolutely.
And right now, you said that you just started this at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yes.
And, normally I would say, wow, that's a really scary day. But what a great time, because a lot of people have been home. They have been dealing with fear, anxiety. We talked a little bit about that, depression. And I want you to talk about how you can help somebody in those areas, because a lot of people right now are thinking of that. They're all dealing with it. I have a daughter that's pretty depressed right now. So let's talk about that.
Well, I think the thing about being stuck at home with COVID and when we had the lockdown going on and all that, our movement went down. And the key to movement and the key to exercise is actually changes the serotonin levels in our brain, which is actually the mood regulator in our brain. And so when we feel depressed, it's because we're not moving enough oftentimes. And so sometimes depression will lie to us and it will tell us to stay home.
Yes,
sit on the couch.
In the bed,
Yeah,
eat that popcorn
exactly.
all night long.
Enjoy that bonbon.
Right.
And so I think a lot of the times it's really inviting ourselves to increase our movement and then talk about how all this has really impacted us, because I think it's changed the entire landscape of who we are and what we do.
How did you get the concept to do this?
Well, this started way back in 2013 when I was beginning in the therapeutic community. And so I started in like a methadone clinic, and I saw a lot of like the medications and how medications work through. And I was like, I wonder what would happen if we changed our physical health to meet our mental health and vice versa. And so it really started back then with just an idea, but I didn't really know how to execute it. And so after several years as a therapist, I decided, all right, it's time, it's go time. This model doesn't exist. And so it was a model that we could try.
So just curiosity, do you offer pain or medication? Or is that something that you don't do and you stay away with it? Or is there time for it as well as adding all the rest as well?
So what we're looking to do is be one-stop shopping for all things wellness. And so right now we don't have a prescriber on board, but we certainly have referral connections that we work with for medication. There is certainly a place for medication, but ultimately we want to see what the impact of our physical health is on our mental health. So we have referral connections.
So you do free consultations with people so they can sit down and talk to you and find out whether this approach, and I think it's I happen to like it, because I think that a lot of doctors, sometimes we are using, and people are using these drugs, it just masks the symptoms, and it's not really getting down to the root of the problem.
Yes.
Sometimes it's needed for a while, but I think it's great that you have that therapy that you can offer them, and it's either life coaching or it's therapy. I mean, I'm not sure what's the difference.
Yeah. So therapy is usually dealing with more deep-rooted issues. Life coaching is, I just need some direction. I'm not really sure where I'm at or where I'm going. And a life coach can really help inspire and motivate that and help give you some structure. Therapists can do that as well, but I think therapy is usually something more deep-rooted, more depression, more anxiety-type symptoms, or other mental health symptoms that come along with that.
Now, you're located in Mesa, Val Vista, and Southern. You do free consultations. His phone number is 480-709-4635. What's your website?
It is www.torchwc.com.
Okay, so it's torchwc.com. You can check them out there, and you can see everything that you do. Your approach to this, what have you seen happen? Like with some of your clients, I mean, I have to ask you, do they love it? Do they saying, wow, this is just a great way? And I am sure, one thing I know about when somebody is not doing well in a family, it really affects the entire family. So they probably are very grateful to it as well.
Absolutely. I think confidence is the main key. What I'm noticing is people that are with us for 6 weeks, we have one story where someone dropped 23 pounds in 6 weeks and feel like they can run through walls because they're more confident about their physical appearance, and it changes the way that they think about themselves and the way they interact with others.
Absolutely. And a lot of us have gotten a little plump, in the last year or so. But it's not just, I think what's wonderful about it is that our wellness, our physical wellness has a big, it's not about you necessarily that you are going to have to be what I call svelte. It's not about that. It's about feeling good about yourself. If you are okay with where you're at, that's fine. You're saying that's fine.
Absolutely.
Right? They don't have to do. They can choose what they want. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We want to meet everyone where they're at. And so wherever you come in at, if you need to lose weight, if you just need to tone up, if you just want to feel better mentally, it's an a la carte service, but we do have whole packages where people can come in and take advantage of every service available.
When people work with you, do you find that they always tend to add and go into all of the different, what you call packages or levels? Because to me, I know that it makes sense. If you want to feel better about yourself, you got to walk, you got to do something, you got to move. And you have that right there in the facility itself?
Yes.
Okay, so they do it all there. It's a one-stop shop completely.
It's a one-stop shop. Yep,
okay.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. And as we move into more retail, more locations, I think we're going to even have more services available right from one spot.
Well, you said that at the perfect time. So what do you have on the horizon?
Yeah, so we're really looking to open up retail locations and expand our gym space and expand our therapeutic offices as well. So we've been growing rapidly because I think this is a much needed service and something that we need to talk about more and understand that it's okay not to be okay, but it's also important to know where to go to become okay.
Now, before we came on and we talked a little bit about your client, right?
Yes.
And so your client, they are younger, but it doesn't really matter. People who are older need this as well.
Absolutely.
What I like to say, too, on my show, and I say it every show, and I'm going to say it now, is because I love my show. It is the greatest thing to have this information. Maybe it's you, maybe it's someone that you know. So when you talk about your client, it might be their kids, it might be their grandchildren, but you work with older folks, too. I just want you to get it out.
Absolutely. I think we want to cover the lifespan. We want to make sure that nobody's left behind in this. And so if somebody needs help, whether it's physical help or mental help, we really prefer to call it brain health. Because if we think about the organ, the brain, it's a little bit less stigmatized than thinking about the mental.
It starts in the brain. I mean, when our brain starts getting messed up, we get messed up.
Yes.
And that makes us, if we're depressed, if we're dealing with anxiety, you said depression, what's some of the other things that people come to you for?
It could be, anxiety, depression, anger management, substance use, parenting. And so really all general mental health issues.
Everything that everyone is dealing with, especially today's world. I mean, it just seems, unfortunately, that's just the way it is. But you can help them on a counseling side, right, for, more mental,
sure,
right?
Yep.
But then life coach.
Yeah, life coaching, motivation, direction, structure. How are we structuring our lives? Specifically, if we're sitting at home all day, sometimes it's hard to get motivated, and that Netflix is super attractive.
I know. How about that nutrition, though, how that comes in? And do you there have also places that you can give them to go to for the nutrition side?
We actually have, we do nutrition planning on site.
Okay.
And so we'll give them a meal plan, a macro level meal plan where they can really understand what food should we be putting into our body to help us reach our goals.
It helps us much better in our brain.
Yes, it does.
all does, and it all comes full circle. And you're going to be having a new place soon. You said that you're opening up another one real
Coming
quickly.
soon, within the next 30 days.
480-709-4635. They're located in Mesa. They do free consultations. It's torchwc.com.